Welcome to today's news briefing. Up next, we'll take a look at the latest developments unfolding across the world's major hotspots.
Event number 1. About 500 U.S. Marines are being deployed to the Middle East. Event number 2. A massive explosion rocks a square in Tehran during Quds Day protests. Event number 3. 6 crew members died when a U.S. refueling plane crashed in Iraq. Event number 4. Israel claims airstrikes on Hezbollah targets in Lebanon are increasing. Event number 5. A missile hit the helipad inside the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. Event number 6. UAV and missile attacks spread across Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and the Gulf. Event number 7. The U.S. military announced details of the KC-135 refueling plane crash in western Iraq. Event number 8. NATO defense system intercepts Iranian ballistic missiles fired over Turkey. 6.
And now, for the details.
About 500 U.S. Marines are being deployed to the Middle East amid continued U.S. and Israeli airstrikes on Iran, while the Islamic Republic persists in attacking shipping and energy infrastructure in the Persian Gulf. As threats from Iran disrupt global oil shipments, U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth stated, "We have been addressing this issue, so there is no need for concern." A large explosion rocked a square in Tehran where crowds had gathered for the annual Quds Day rally in support of the Palestinians, Iranian state television reported. Thousands chanted "Down with Israel" and "Down with the United States." More than 100 children were among the 773 people killed by Israeli airstrikes in Lebanon, the Lebanese Health Ministry said Friday. Iranian authorities said more than 300 people have been killed in the country, while Israel has reported 12 fatalities. All 6 crew members aboard a KC-135 refueling tanker that crashed in western Iraq were killed, bringing the U.S. death toll in Operation Epic Fury to at least 13. Israel announced Friday that its attacks on Hezbollah targets in Lebanon are ongoing and will intensify. The Hezbollah leader asserted his fighters would battle to the end. U.S. President Donald Trump said the war will end when he feels it in his gut. A rocket struck a helicopter landing pad inside the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, according to 2 security officials. The projectile landed on the embassy grounds after clearing the Green Zone, a heavily fortified area in central Baghdad that houses Iraqi government institutions and foreign embassies. The security official spoke on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak to the media. Video obtained by the Associated Press showed smoke rising from within the compound. There was no immediate comment from the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. On Friday, the embassy renewed its Level 4 security warning for Iraq, cautioning that Iran and pro-Iranian militia groups have previously attacked U.S. citizens, interests, and infrastructure, and could continue to do so. The sprawling embassy compound, one of the largest U.S. diplomatic missions in the world, has been targeted multiple times in the past by pro-Iranian militias with rockets and drones. These groups have recently intensified attacks on bases hosting U.S. and coalition troops. A drone strike in northern Iraq on Thursday killed a French soldier and wounded several others stationed there as part of the international coalition. The Saudi Ministry of Defense said early Saturday that it shot down a drone in the Al Jaf region, a sparsely populated province near the Jordanian border that contains military and energy infrastructure. The ministry also reported downing 7 drones heading toward the kingdom's eastern region, one of the least populated areas near Iran and home to key oil facilities. In Qatar, the Ministry of Defense said forces were responding to a missile attack targeting the gas-rich nation. The Dubai media office said debris from an interception struck the facade of a downtown building, adding that the incident was under control with no reports of fire or casualties. All 6 crew members of the KC-135 refueling tanker that crashed while supporting operations against Iran have died, the U.S. military confirmed Friday. The crash in western Iraq on Thursday occurred after an unspecified incident involving 2 aircraft in friendly airspace, with the second plane landing safely, according to U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, which oversees the Middle East. The crash brings the U.S. death toll in Operation Epic Fury to at least 13, including 7 others killed in combat. About 140 U.S. troops have been wounded, including 8 seriously, the Pentagon said earlier this week. The KC-135 has been in service for over 60 years and has been involved in several fatal accidents, most recently in 2013. Adding to reliability concerns, the aircraft does not always carry parachutes. Here's what is known about the refueling tanker. the fourth U.S. military aircraft publicly confirmed to have crashed since the war against Iran began on February 28, with the cause of the accident not immediately clear. U.S. Central Command said the circumstances of the crash are under investigation, but the loss of the aircraft was not due to enemy or friendly fire. The KC-135 Stratotanker is a U.S. Air Force aircraft used to refuel other planes in midair, allowing them to fly longer distances and remain operational without landing. According to military experts, the aircraft is also used to transport wounded personnel during medical evacuations or to perform surveillance missions. A basic KC-135 crew consists of 3 people: a pilot, a co-pilot, and a boom operator. Nurses and medical technicians are added for aeromedical evacuation missions. NATO defense systems on Friday intercepted ballistic missiles launched from Iran over Turkish airspace, the third such incident since the war with Iran began. The Turkish Ministry of Defense said the missiles were destroyed by NATO air defense systems deployed in the eastern Mediterranean region, according to the Associated Press. Residents in the southern city of Adana reported hearing a loud explosion, and sirens were heard at Incirlik Air Base, which is used by U.S. forces, early Friday. As sirens wailed in Adana, footage broadcast by the IHA news agency showed deserted streets. There were no reports of casualties. The Turkish Defense Ministry stressed on Thursday that Incirlik is a Turkish base and that the presence of foreign troops does not change its status, an apparent response to warnings from Tehran to regional countries against hosting U.S. military bases.